gnome making day, and I am actually going to be using wine bottles. Now, if you are a wine drinker and you have bottles laying around, this is one good way to make use of the bottle instead of chucking it in the trash or trying to figure out what you're going to do with it. So I actually do quite a few. So I go to a winery because some wineries don't have machines to sanitize their bottles. So they actually sell their bottles for different prices. They usually sell them by the case, and they just, after they use the bottle, they just put it in the box, and then they just resell a box of used wine bottles. I go to my local winery and I get them there, and I pay $2 for a case of 12. Me and my husband just happened to be at a festival, and they had this little wine area, and it was right next to all the blow-up machines. So we thought, hey, let's go over here and we'll sit because we can see the kids while they play on all of the blow-up machines. And we sat there and we had a little glass of wine, and I just happened to ask him, well, what do you guys do with your wine bottles? And he's like, well, we sell them for $2 a case. And I'm like, what? $2 a case? And I'm like sitting here making my husband drink all these glasses of wine so that way I can have the bottles, or having my family save them for me. So I was really happy. Now my husband doesn't have to drink a whole lot of alcohol, which I am not a big drinker, so this is great for me. But enough about that. Let's get back to making our gnomes. So the things that you will need, and I'll show you here in a minute some of my gnomes that I have made, but you will need a wine bottle. And then I got this at Walmart. It's a Waverly, and I believe it's it's an 18-inch by 21-inch piece of fabric. I paid 97 cents for this. And then also at Walmart, they have these washcloths, and they are like 49 cents. They have a certain areas, just a little bargain in, and it's usually on the back. Some Walmarts carry it. I don't know if all of them do, but mine does. So I get these there. You can also pick them up at the Dollar Tree if you want to, because this is what we're going to make our nose out of. And that's what they look like. They look so cute. And then I got these at the Dollar Tree because it's cheaper for me to get them there. It's a 2-pack of socks, which I'm only going to be using one of them, and those are $1. Then we're going to need some rice. Now the best value that I have found, and I put this in my other video that I made a gnome, is they have a 10-pound bag of rice for right under $5. It's like $4.94. So you will need some rice, but I have some left over of my little bag, so I'm going to use it. What else do we need? Okay, then we need some hair. Now I get this at Hobby Lobby, and it is $2.99, and sometimes they have 30% off. I think that's like the highest they go. If you go online and they're not on sale, you can get you a coupon or download it off your phone and get a 40% off. And this actually, maybe somewhere, this will fold out to make a big giant piece. Now I cut this into 4 pieces, so that way I can make 4 gnomes, but then if I want to even make more bang for my buck, I will cut them into 8 pieces, so that way I get more hair for my gnomes. Okay, and then if you want something for your top, I also got these at Hobby Lobby because they're bigger. They're just those little hairy ball things, like a cotton ball, but it's hair, not fuzz. So you need a glue gun and some glue sticks. You will also need a pair of scissors. So what we are going to do is, I already have this piece cut, and see, I get 4 of these, and I'm actually going to use the long ones. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that I've used the long ones here. I've done this guy right here to where when you set him on a shelf, his hair will hang off the shelf. So it's really what you want to do, and I put a little ball up top. And then another one that I've done is, he kind of has like a V right here, and to where he can hang off the shelf and his hair hangs off also. But this is what he looks like. I've kind of twisted and hot glued all of this. Now for the ones that I have done for the 8 pieces of hair is where it's a lot shorter, so that way I kind of have, like a little lumberjack guy going on here. I have that one, and I have this one here. So, you know, these are awesome gifts to do for Christmas. Gnomes are in right now and everybody loves them. So I also did this lumberjack guy. That's what I'm probably going to call my booth, is, you know, the lumberjack gnomes. And then Halloween isn't here yet, so I went ahead and did something kind of like this guy right here. Now you can do all different kinds of stuff with your gnomes. You can do a big giant mustache if you like. I haven't tried that one yet. I guess I need to try that. But I have done girl gnomes, so I will make a video on a girl gnome, and I'll probably end up doing the bottle. Okay, so now that we've got everything explained, I've showed you a couple demos. Let's get started. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our piece of fabric, and we're actually, you can make 2 gnomes out of 1 piece of fabric, so that way you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Now they also have a section at Walmart where it's a reduced fabric section, where you could get more fabric, so that way you can make more gnomes. But this is just what I do. Okay, so we have our big giant piece, and basically what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it down the middle. Now, if you want to get more bang for your buck, and you're going to do like these guys here that I have done with the short hair, because you're going to be pulling the hat down even farther, you don't have to use as much fabric. So you could actually, right here where it's folded in each of these little areas, you could cut that so that way you have 4 gnomes. But I'm actually going to turn it this away, long ways, and I'm going to cut it right down this middle here. So I'm going to do that real quick. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so if you want to use where you're cutting to be up under the hats, because sometimes I try to do this quick and so kind of looks like crap, but we'll do the best that we can, because you're not going to see it because we already have a straight edge on the other end. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces. So then what we're going to do, now you can either use this entire thing and just roll it all the way on there, or you can cut it off. I cut it off because I can use the fabric pieces for other things that I do, or use it as patches on clothing. So what we're going to do is we have our side that is straight that we did not cut. So I'm just going to lay my bottle down right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue all the way up here. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if you can pull this down just a smidge more so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm actually doing this side because it's got the little fringy stuff on the end where people in the factory or wherever they make this have cut and made a little line. So I'm glad I picked this in to do. Oh, and I need a glue stick. Alright. And you don't have to take the labels off or nothing, because obviously nobody's going to see this. Now you want to make sure that your end is flush right here on the bottom of your bottle, so that way you're not going to see your bottle. Oh, I keep losing them. I'm glad I got a couple sitting up here. Having malfunctions with the glue gun. Alright. Now you can glue it all the way up here. And see, this is what I mean about you can reuse it a couple times, because I'm not going to be putting my hat about midway down the bottle. So all this is just basically wasted fabric that I'm wasting. So, you know, you got to figure out the best way that you can use your fabric. Okay, so this pretty much gives me like a perforated line right there where it's folded, so that's where I'm going to cut along, because I want it to overlap the fabric just a little bit. And it's going to roll on me, so we'll just go this way. Alright, and you want to try to get this as straight as possible, so that way your line looks nice. And I try to make sure that I put, when I'm making my gnome, that the crease is in the back, so that way you don't see it. So we do have this extra piece here. And if you have, another different thing that you can do is if you or your spouse or your friends drink beer, you could also make a mini gnome out of a beer bottle. I've done that before. So you can make some mini gnomes to go along with your big gnomes. Okay, so we got that done. So now we're just going to glue this part down here. I'm going to try to just kind of fold this flat back a little bit. It doesn't always cooperate. You know, my glue gun was working just fine this morning before I started videotaping, and now it doesn't want to do anything. I got like, sometimes I do gnome classes. I have a craft booth at one of my friends' shops, and I'm going to try to do it this way here so I can get some more glue. But we have a lot of fun when we get to do gnome classes, because it's something that it's popular right now, but if you don't want to go to the store and, you know, spend tons of money on somebody else making the gnome and you want to make it yourself, I think I did 5 or 6 classes last year, and each class that I had, it was just, they had so much fun doing it. They got to pick out their own fabric. I had bought a lot of fabric. I bought a lot of hair and all different kinds of stuff. So, you know, this is something that if you are looking for a girls' night to do, this would be something really fun for you guys to do on a girls' night. Or, you know, grandmas out there that are crafty and, you know, you want to have your grandkids over. This would also be a fun thing to do with the grandkids. I had one lady that said that that's what she was going to do with her grandkids. And make sure that's still plugged in. So, you know, me showing people how to do this, it just gets it out there more and for more people to teach somebody else. So that's the fun part. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we want our nose. So what we're going to do is I have cut this into 3 long strips, and then I cut it again in 3 more strips to where I can get more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this kind of like a taco, and I'm going to put some rice in there. Excuse me. Shh. Sorry. I don't know what they're working at. There must be something outside. I'm going to pause just for a minute. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, the neighbor was walking by, and my big dog is usually not in the house, but we let him spend the night in the house last night, so yay. Yay, yes. Okay, anyway, so back here. Got a taco. Jack, shh. Mommy's recording. Shh. Okay. Sorry. I got a little tiny dog and a big giant dog in here. Okay, so folded like a taco, we have our rice inside. So what we're going to do is in the middle here, on this back piece, we're going to put a dot of glue. And I had to change glue guns because my other one malfunctioned, and now this one is just not doing it either. I have to go find my other glue guns. Okay, we have a malfunction. I'll be right back. Okay, I got it. I think it was like jammed. Okay, so what I did is I put the glue on there, and see, it kind of looks like a little bow. So what we're going to do is I put way too much in here, and I don't have my plate. But what you're going to do is take this end here, and you're going to fold up the middle, and then we're going to fold this up, okay? Then we're going to do the exact same thing to this side. We're going to fold it up like that, and see, we're making like one of those little Chinese crab raccoons. Yes. Okay. The only thing that I forgot to add in there was I get these rubber band elastic hair tie things. I got those at the Dollar Tree. You can get them at Walmart. They're like 88 cents. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to close this up like this, okay? Now, there's little flaps right here. You want to fold those back. Now the reason why we're folding those back is because we can't put any hot glue on our little rubber band or else it'll break. So we're going to fold that like this, okay? Then we're going to put glue in here, and you're going to figure out on your bottle where you want to put your gnome. Or blah, 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 blah. Put your nose on your gnome. Okay. Jack, shh. No. Alright. So let's see. Right here's our back. So I'm going to put my glue on here, just a little bit on each one of these little flaps here. Let me turn this way. And I'm going to put mine right there where that crease is. Okay? Just like that. That's our nose. And you just want to push down there. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to use some white hair. Now this comes in white, cream, like a brownish gray color, a brown, and a black. I get all of those so that way I have different colors, which I did show you guys them all. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn this around and see they've got like this little mesh thing on the back. Now, sometimes I leave them just like this, but I cut out my little V underneath my nose, but I will leave it just like this. So if you want a big giant beard, I would leave the whole thing, but I'm not on this one. I like the V pattern. But first what I'm going to do is we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to cut a V up. Okay, now you don't want to cut up here at the top of the hair because we want to try to leave excess hair to where it doesn't look like it's a fresh line cut. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom where the hair is coming out, and we're going to take our scissors, and you want a sharp pair. I did a video on I used my kitchen scissors and they were really bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of start in the middle and we're going to work our way up to where we're doing a slant V, okay? And you want to try to get as close to this as possible to where you're not getting any of the hair. You're just basically cutting the fabric is what we're doing. Just like this. And you might have to move your scissors if you kind of feel like it's cutting your hair. And see, then that's what it does. It flares out that hair, and you might have a little bit loose, but that away, it kind of looks like it's not freshly cut, right? Alright, so we're going to do it to the other side here. And we're just going to cut up in a V pattern all the way to the top corner. Okay, we're going to take that off. Now, these things that I've cut off, I use these as piggy tails for the girls because you can put a little glue in the middle and you can do it, and then right there's your ponytail. You put a hair tie on there, and there you go. I will make a video on that next. Okay, anywho, back to this one. So we've got our V cut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little V right here in the middle so that way we can tuck this up underneath the nose. And see, just going to take this out and we have a V. Yay. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to glue our little V and push it up underneath there. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to do the V. I'm not going to do all of it. I only do the top. Okay, so we're going to take this and I spread it out a little bit to where I can get it all the way up underneath that nose. And that's what you want. Just like that. Okay, then what we're going to do is these little flaps right here, we're going to lean those back and we're going to put some glue right up top there, and I just go down the line. And I pull it up just a little bit to where it's up a little bit higher than the nose. And then I'm going to do this side, pull it up a little bit higher, and that sun is beating down in my eyeballs. Okay, so we're halfway there. And plus, it's going to hang off a shelf. Now, if you don't want it to hang off a shelf, then figure out where you want your nose and then cut your hair, like after you put your nose on, put your hair a little bit like flush with the nose, the top of the nose, and then figure out where you want to cut it, and then flip it over, and you can cut the bottom or the top. It really doesn't matter, because you can still use it. Just make sure that you cut close to this line up here on the mesh like I did to cut my V, so that way you're not ruining the other part of your hair. Okay, so we are done with that. Now we're going to move on to our hat. I have a red sock, so, and the heel part, I try to make sure that it's in the back and not in the front. Now if you're wanting to bulk out your nose any, you could take another piece of your washcloth, and I have one that I've kind of just chopped the crap out of. I've done other things with it, but you could roll it up and you could actually make a nose. I think I might actually do that. Why don't we do that? Okay. So probably going to cut this in half. And I'm just going to cut this little extra piece off that I have to where I have this piece right here. So I'm just basically going to roll it up like that, like a little log. Okay. I'm going to glue this real quick. Okay. Alright, let's see. So then what you can do is you can take this and you can glue it right on your nose. Now I might cut some of this off here. I might cut it off right here. Yeah, I think I will. Can use that for another nose extension piece later. Okay. So since I glued that, I'm gonna glue back here. Add some more glue. Who doesn't love hot glue, right? It's Crafters World people need our glue. Okay. So now we have that right there. So we have made our nose. Okay? Woo! Alright, now we're going to take our sock and we're just going to put over the bottle. Trying to find my end here. Alright. Now you're basically just wanting this to go, poke this out some so it sticks out. Let me see what, let me get it all ready and then I'll flip it back over so you can see it. So see, I have put it to where it goes over the nose. Now you don't have to pull it down too far over here. You could actually make it pretty flush with it, so that way you have more sock up top. So just pull that up there, not too far though. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to put a dot of glue over here under the hat and over here under the hat. You want to find the end of the rim of the sock. Just that one. And I always just do it right behind the hair so that way it don't creep up on me. Okay. So now we have to figure out what we're going to do with this big mess up here. Okay. Now some people have taken it and, you know, pinched this all up here. They've glued this to where this kind of hangs over. It's really what you want to do, but I think that's probably what I'm going to do with this here, to where it looks more like a head than if that hangs down. Okay, so I'm just going to run some glue right in the middle here after, because I've creased it, see? Okay. So I'm going to run some glue right here in the middle with my sock, all the way up there, and I'm just going to pinch it. Just like this. Just keep pinching, so that way it all dries. Okay, so then we have that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get, where'd those go? Oh, they're there. I'm going to take one of these little ball here. They're just like hair. It's not really cotton, it's hair. It's like what you can use for those flowers that people use. But I'm going to put this right on the edge of here so it kind of hangs down here. I think I'll put it right there. You kind of got to figure out how you want to do it. Okay, so I'm going to flare this out a little bit like that so I can put all my glue right there. And then we're just going to shove our ball on there and hold it for just a couple minutes. Turned out pretty cute. You can make all different kinds of stuff. I've seen where some people have taken snowflakes or a Christmas little ornament. You could do one of those bells, those jingle bells. Those would be cute too. Okay. All right. And there he is. He's all done. Okay. So, very easy. It's under $10 per one. I mean, it's all about how much you want to spend. If you have stuff at home to use, that's great. If you have wine bottles at home, that saves you a little bit more money. But this is a way for you to repurpose some of the stuff that you have at home that is just lying around that you really don't know what to do with, and make something cute. You know, if you have grandkids, if you have kids and you're just looking for something fun, especially in the winter time, it's snowy and you guys have not a whole lot to do, this is something perfect to do, because after you get done making your gnome, then you get to figure out where you're going to stick it in your house. Or just different kinds of things. You could add buttons, you could add beads. I've done both of those. Those are in my booth right now. I also have, you know, these that I bought at Walmart. You could take this, it's got a little glimmer on it, you can put it around the body if you want to. There's so many possibilities to what you can do with your gnome. You can make spring gnomes, you know, Halloween like what I did, Christmas. Gnomes are very flexible to whatever you want to do. You can do one for each season. There's really no limit to what you can do with a gnome. So I hope that you have liked this. If you have any questions, please put those in the comments below. If you would like me to make any kind of different gnome, please also put that in the comments below. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And you'll have to check out my sock gnome that I did before. But I will be making some different videos of different kinds of gnomes that I'm making. So thank you, and you guys have a blessed day.